Back to ajspeller.com. In today's video, we're going to use the area model to demonstrate the distributive property. And basically, with the distributive property, it's just the sharing of numbers. Here, we're going to share these numbers through multiplication. So let's say we start off with a relatively simple problem. Let's say we're going to multiply 7 times 26. Well, we have 7 times 26. Another way this can be written as 7 with 26 in parentheses, and the last way is 7 with the expanded form of 26, which is just 20 plus 6. And here we're going to multiply the 7 times the 20 and then the 7 times the 6. And let's show that with the area model. So let's begin by just drawing a rectangle. Along the left hand side, let's place the number 7. And let's separate this rectangle into two smaller rectangles because we have two numbers that we're going to use to multiply. So we're going to draw a line here, and we're going to write the expanded form of 26, which is going to be 20 plus 6, and we'll just place the x here to show we're multiplying. So we begin by multiplying or sharing or distributing the 7 times 20. Well, let's just start with 7 times 2 to get 14. And we know with the 0 in multiplication, we're going to tack on a 0 at the end and then multiply 7 or share the 7 with the 6 or distribute the 7 with the 6 to get 42. Now we have two partial products, 140 and 42. We have to add those two numbers together. So let's do that down here. 140 plus 42. 0 plus 2 to give me 2. 4 plus 4 to give me 8. And 1 plus nothing to give me 1. So here we're seeing that the multiplication of 7 times 26 is 182. All right, let's do another example. This time let's multiply 6 times 358. So let's go here. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's change the color as well. So let's do 6 times 358. And again, I'm going to show that without the multiplication sign. Here, multiplication is implied because I don't see the operator. And lastly, I'm going to show it with the 358 in expanded form, where that's 300 because I have a 3 in the hundreds place, 50 because I have 5 tens, and then 8 because I have 8 ones. And if I draw this out with a model, again, I'm going to start off with a rectangle. I'm going to keep the 6 on the outside because that's the number to be distributed. In expanded form, I have 3 new numbers. So I'm going to break this rectangle up into 3 pieces. So I'm going to start here with 300 plus the 50 plus the 8. And then I begin to distribute the 6 with each one of these. So 6 times 3 to give me 18. I have 2 zeros, so I tack those on at the end. 6 times 5 to give me 30. I tack on another 0 at the end. Again, be careful here. Sometimes people leave off this last 0 because they see the 0 here. We have to show that 6 times 5 is 30, and then we tack on the other 0 to show that 0 in the ones place with the 50. And then lastly, 6 times 8 to give me 48. Again, I have 3 partial products, and I forgot to say this earlier, but if we were to say this length here was 6 units long, and this length here was 300 units long, well, the area of this particular rectangle would be 1,800. Again, that's why we call this the area model. And of course, this would be in square units if we were to be talking about actual area. So we have our 3 partial products. Now let's line those up, making sure we line them up in the appropriate decimal places. So matter of fact, let's do this up here. I have 1,800, then I have 300, and then I have 48. All right, all these zeros plus 8 leaves me 8. All these zeros plus 4 leaves me 4. 8 plus 3 is 11. Carry my 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So here I'm showing that the product of 6 times 358 is 2,148. All right, let's do another example. This time let's step it up a little bit. All right, in our next example, we're going to multiply 25 times 36. So here we have our 25 and our 36. Now we have two numbers that are 2 digits long, so we have to show the expanded form for both of those. So 25 is the same thing as 20 plus 5, and I need to multiply that quantity times the expanded form of 36, which is 30 plus 6. Now when I do the actual model, I'm going to draw a square-like figure, and I need to break it up into 2 rows, and the 2 rows are going to be the 20 plus 5. So here I have 20, my plus symbol, and then the 5. And then I also need 2 columns because 36 is broken up into 30 plus 6. And again, I follow the same process. For the area of this box, it's 20 units times 30 units. So let's start with something simple. 2 times 3 to give me 6. And I have a 0 here and a 0 here, so I place in 2 zeros. So 20 times 30 gives me 600. Now let's do 20 times 6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12. I have a 0 here, so I'm going to tack on the 0. Now let's do 5 times 3 to give me 15. I have a 0, so I tack that on here. And then 5 times 6 to give me 30. And like I said earlier, these are called partial products, and each one of these partial products represents the area for the lengths of the sides. All right, now that we have the partial products, we need to add them up. Now that I have more numbers, I'm going to group them in pairs. So let's first do 600 plus 150. Well, 0, 5, and then 7, so 750. And then I'm going to add up 120 plus 30. 2 plus 3 to give me 5, and then the 1. Now I add up these two partial products. So that's 0, 5 and 5 is 10, and then I have 7, 8, 9. So here I see the product of 25 times 36 is 900. All right, and for our final example, let's do 250 times 12, and again, let's change the color here. So 250 times 12. All right, let's write 250 in expanded form, which is going to be 200 plus 50 plus 0. And then I'm going to multiply that times the expanded form of 12, which is 10. Whoops, let's fix this. Which is 10 plus 2. Now I need to have 3 rows and 2 columns. All right, and this rectangle has to have 3 rows. So I'm going to have 200, 50, and then 0. Add my little plus symbols in between, and it has to have 2 columns where I have 10 and then 2. And of course I put my little multiplication sign there. All right, 2 times 1 to give me 2, and then I tack on 3 zeros. 2 times 2 to give me 4, and I have 2 zeros here to tack on. 5 times 1 to give me 5. I have a 0 here and a 0 here, so I tack on 2 zeros. 5 times 2 to give me 10, and I have 1 0 here to tack it on. 0 times 10 to give me 0, and 0 times 2 to give me 0. So here are my 6 partial products, and I need to add all these up. Well, 2,000 plus 500 is 2,500. And then 400 plus 100 is 500. And now I have 2,500 plus 500, and that turns out to be 3,000. So here we're showing that 250 times 12 turns out to be 3,000. All right, that sums up this video by ajspeller.com. And as always, thank you for watching.